Today we are going to be talking about how to be very productive, have super productive days, and I thought I'd do something different for today. Instead of me just talking to you to the camera, I actually made a video about this exactly 6 years ago on a different channel. I made a video called how to be have a super productive day, work 10 hours a day, whatever it was. Very productive day, and I thought it would be fun for us to go watch that and for me to react to my video on this other channel from 6 years ago and see what I was saying back then. And also it's like, here I am, that channel didn't take off, but here I am, trying again, new channel, completely different. I could have done these types of videos on that old channel, but I decided I wanted a blank slate, go from zero, see what would happen. And so here we are, 6 years later, still trying to make effort and progress and be productive, whatever it is, be successful. But enough rambling. I'll show you some things here. I'll just share my screen really quickly with you here. If I go like this, this is the video here, how not to procrastinate and be productive working 10 hours a day. And now this is actually a re-upload. I re-uploaded it again 10 years. Here it is in 2021, but I originally created it here. You can see the history here. 23rd of May 2020 when I made that video originally. So this is the notes and the script and the planning. Like, these are the shots I need to do, and here's all the notes and the scripting parts. It was like semi-scripted, semi-bullet points, and then all the different shots I had to make. And so it was a much more involved video. Back then I was doing all this effort and making lots of A-roll shots and different A-roll shots, different B-roll shots, lots of movement, lots of music and sound effects and dynamics, and making it high effort videos. It probably took me 20 to 30 hours or something to make that video. So it's a lot more effort than talking to camera. But, different style back then as well. And this channel never really took off. And when I re-uploaded it, I only got 27 views. First time it maybe got like a couple hundred views. But I was thinking, maybe if I give it another shot, it will go somewhere. But unfortunately not. And then this channel I kind of let die, I haven't uploaded since 2022 on it. But, we keep going. So here is the video, and we'll get started with it. It's going to be maybe a bit awkward for me to watch myself back. But you never know. Maybe it'll be fun.
It's no secret, people don't work 100% efficiently.
So in
a typical 9-to-5 job, studies have shown that people only work about 2 to 3 hours per day.
2 hours.
And as someone who's actually worked a 9-to-5, I think 30% is generous.
That was me working in a 9-to-5.
People say they're working 40 hours a week, but in reality they're working less than 10. Only effective work hours count. This video is how you can do 10 plus hours of effective work, but
I'm talking about more about
14 to...
I'm talking more about how I was filming the video than the actual productivity parts to it here. I was trying to be kind of like Casey Neistat and do all this cool vlog stuff. But,
15-hour work day.
And the point is,
we can
people don't
never
work efficiently.
Do 100% efficiency. That is impossible. But you can do more in one day than a normal person does in an entire week.
Exposure.
Hey, I'm Ethan, and as entrepreneurs, we have to work hard.
Different shots.
And
so many different shots already in this.
Hard. For many, many years, we have to work our ass off, grinding away if we want to achieve something awesome. It can be very hard to do this at times, and admittedly, I don't do these 10, 11, 12 hour productive days.
I definitely don't do those now. Back then I was able to work 10 plus hours a day, sometimes maybe once or twice a week. Now I don't think I've done a 10 plus, unless I have a really big project with some work stuff. There has been a couple of times, but yeah, I'm lucky to do 2-3 hours of work a day. I really fell off depression. During COVID it really got me, and I still am struggling from that, so but we keep going, we keep trying. So
every single day, that is impossible unless you
back then I was like going home, trying to work, be productive, be successful.
I normally get about 2 or 3 days a week working at that level, and then the rest is normally about 5 to 8 hours of effective work. Now, procrastination is something I have
still struggled with procrastination back then
in the past,
but nowhere near like what I became afterwards.
Many weeks would go by and I would barely be able to get 1 or 2 hours done in a single
I mean, at least it's interesting.
But after many years,
put in B-roll.
That's like,
I had to film that
that
B-roll
works for me, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do
struggles with
in order to be able
procrastination.
to grind it out. Apparently, people like to work backwards down lists, so we're going to start at number 8.
That was like a YouTube hack, like count downwards. You know, apparently it increases your, watch time. I don't know how effective that really is.
Coders or artists.
Seems like your videos just have to be good. I was not good enough. But like this video isn't terrible by any stretch. I was doing well. Like if you've seen my earlier videos, so bad.
No food, no breaks. They're just in this flow state. So when you're trying to do a massive workout a day, you need to be applying some of the principles of flow states in order for you to work effectively. Initial research into flow states was done by this guy, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi.
I mean, who can pronounce that? Nobody.
1 second.
Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi.
So you need to be doing a task that is challenging enough
that rewards you
for doing it, but not too difficult that you get frustrated and give up. The challenge is matched to your skill level, and as you grow, the bigger challenges you can tackle. Here's a quote by Janine
I think I'm doing the thing. I could probably say that Nakamura. I was probably overdoing it here to try to do the joke again.
Dean Nakamura.
Inducing flow is about the balance between the level of skill and the size of the challenge at hand. 7, you need...
So that's probably true, how if you enter into flow is, if it's too difficult, you will fall off, and if it's too easy, you can get bored. However, I would probably say you can do flow states even if it is within your skill set, maybe below it, as long as you enjoy the thing. You can get into flow doing like coloring pictures that, for children's drawing books and coloring in, which you have the skill sets to do, as long as you find enjoyment out of it. It doesn't have to be a pure challenge state. So I think there's actually a slight different thing. But like when it's more task-based, you want... If it can become repetitive or boring, then you may not find flow there. Anyway,
goals.
Let's keep going.
You need a big, massive goal that you're achieving. It has to be
Tony Robbins
purposeful, and
anybody who wants self-help has probably
really
stumbled across Tony Robbins at some point.
If it isn't important to you, you're never going to be motivated to want to go towards it. It's a long-term goal. It's not like I'm going to succeed over...
Uh-oh! Elon! Before Elon was so cringe, and definitely wouldn't want to be talking about Elon these days, but back then, you talk about Elon in a video, you got a load of views. So, and that first book, it maybe got that in 2013 or 2014 or something, and when he was really quite impressive and not a complete douchebag.
Overnight, it can be over the course of a year or 3-year period. Then you need a short-term goal. What are you trying to do today?
Is such a dick.
What is the one thing you're
I can't believe how much I was
today?
such an Elon
It needs to be
fanboy
a
back then.
task that can basically take up the whole day. So for me, it could be like filming and editing and putting out this video. That's probably a full day's process.
So that's like a short-term goal. What can I do in a day? Which is like, then it was like, make a really complicated video. Now it's like, make a simple talk to the camera video. Very different goals. Or similar goals, but like very different efforts. How I have fallen.
A full day of work for me, it'll take me at least 10 hours. Tasks
are
going to take 10 hours, you can have 2 5-hour tasks, etc. But it's important that they get done by the end of today. Today is your deadline.
What I'm finding difficult is I watch everything at 2x speed, so watching this at 1x speed is really doing my head. But we'll go through it, because if you want to watch it at 2x speed on your end, then this would be a 4x speed and you won't get anything.
That makes a difference. Otherwise, you'll just put it off till tomorrow. There's no consequences to breaking that deadline. It's not like we are working for ourselves here. So, there's no school teacher coming to whip you for not handing in your homework. The pressure is entirely down to use. You set.
Which is true. Like, I really struggle with like people setting timelines. I'm like, it's never worked for me as a push. Like, gotta get it done by the end of the day. I was like, there's no consequences to it. So yeah, I don't find that. Like, some people are able to put in self-pressure on that. It doesn't really work for me.
Set the deadline. I'm gonna achieve this by the end of today, and then you make sure you get there. And
so that's why I'm like lowering the bar on this thing to just me talking to the camera. So that way I can do it. I can get it done. If it becomes too difficult, I'm just going to procrastinate. And like with these videos, they were so involved, you know, like just the planning and the scripting and thinking about the video. That took so long and so much effort, and you procrastinate on that. And then filming is so complex, and you've got to do all these shots and even procrastinating on that, and then editing because you've got to go through all the A-roll and like how many mistakes you made, and you've got to go and find all the cuts through it that are actually the good point of it. Yeah. So lower in the bar. That's what I talked about in my first video on this channel. Lower the bar to make it easy for me to be consistent. Because consistency, I think, is actually a massive, important part of becoming a productive person rather than just purely outputting. Now, in this point, I was being consistent in working in other things as well. And even on this channel, I'd been consistent for almost a year at that, this channel. Now, not every single day consistent, but like making videos and improving, and I was doing well enough, I guess. Not really, actually. I was very disappointed in my lack of progress on the growth on that channel, but you know, I guess the videos were I just wasn't good enough, particularly early on. Anyway, at this point I thought I was starting to get better at it, which I was, but again, it still didn't really take off.
You work into the wee hours if you have to. 6, track your tasks. Use a notepad and write it down, or you can use one of the online ones like Trello, or one of my favorite ones which gamifies the whole thing is called Habitica. Check it out. It's like
really cool.
RPG,
it's like,
and you get like,
yeah, it's like a game. It just makes it into a game, and it becomes fun, and you know, an RPG game, and get your little character, and then you give yourself little rewards for doing your task, and then there's things you can buy and upgrade your character. So it's a good fun way of doing it.
Prizes and rewards for doing your tasks. Very fun. Turns working into
you have to be in a good state
of
productivity to do these tasks. Otherwise, these don't work so well unless you're already in a good, have some momentum. Tracking your times and tasks won't be that effective, I find. You know, it's like have that one goal. But like, oh yeah, this video is about like how to work really effectively, like really productive days. So yeah, if you're doing that, absolutely track your things. Now I'm just trying to be a productive, like get a single thing done. There's very different times in my life.
I use this web app called Clockify. It's free. You just put in what task you're doing on what project, and you click start. And every time you are working, doing productive work, you're on the clock, and anytime you stop, you take a break, you look at your phone, you scroll on Instagram, you go to the toilet, you go get food, you stop the clock. You're not on the clock anymore. You're now not in productive work. Yeah. Only productive work counts.
See, look here. Where I was doing 10 hours. And I only clocked effective work hours. 10-hour days, 10-hour days, 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours. I was regularly doing 10 hours days, you know, okay, not every day, you know, but like 6 hours, like that's so good. Now, I'm nowhere near that. I'm like down here. This is me, like with these, and even lower than that for you know, 5 years. Yeah, I have really struggled lately.
And then you track your hours on Clockify.
Depression.
What gets tracked gets improved. You'll be shocked at really how little hours you actually work. Number 4 is to take your phone, stick it on airplane mode,
is still a very
and then put it in a different room or in a hard-to-reach place. Or, in fact, turn it off altogether. You're not allowed to check your phone until you have completed your tasks. You need to be doing some social distancing from your phone. Number 3.
That was obviously a COVID joke because, you know, everybody was in lockdown, so you couldn't be near people. Now again, it doesn't make any sense, but like back then, you know.
Oxygen because and CO2.
You know, May 2020, you know, we're 3 months into, 2 months into lockdown, so.
CO2 builds up in your room as you...
This is actually a good tip here.
Breathe out. And this has significant effect on your cognitive ability. It directly slows brain function. Studies have been done, and when CO2...
You see all that camera work as well, like I'm doing handheld stuff and like the transitions, you know, I was putting the effort into thinking about and planning all these to make it engaging.
Levels go over 1,000 parts per million, your brain function decreases by 15%. At 1,400 parts per million, it's down to 50%. At 2,000, there's many negative side effects. And get this, in our bedrooms or our home offices where most of us are working, it gets above 4,000 parts per million.
Basically, our brains are drunk from oxygen, lack of oxygen. Oxygen deprived is making us go, lack of ability to think and concentrate. Crazy, isn't it? I should open my window more. I do a funny bit here, I think.
So you can only imagine what that is doing to your brain. It will significantly impact your ability to work.
Wait for
you
my
can
funny
watch this
moment.
video here on Tom Scott's channel by Curtis Bouty to learn more. This is where I got all the information from. The links are in the bio. And links to the research are in his video. Solution? Open the goddamn window! Or perhaps just cover your entire desk in plants.
Yeah, that's the funny bit. This is like, I think it was Basil from the, you know,
Should about
Home
do.
Plants.
Number 2 is music.
That actually doesn't actually make
Music
any effect
has such
on your
powerful
oxygen
effects on your
levels.
brain.
Very
And
basically
there's
minimal.
this
You have to
website
open the
called
window.
Brain FM. I don't recommend using it because all it is a synthwave
Another good
mix,
tip, actually.
A synthwave mix. Go find them on YouTube. A synthwave mix, and it's a bit more distracting than them though because the dynamic
On Brain
levels
FM.
in the
Don't use
songs
Brain
are a
FM.
bit more
It's
out there. I found it less helpful than
Dynamics too loud, too quiet. Yeah, and it goes loud, quiet, and that's distracting. Whereas on the YouTube playlist, it's just continuous level of audio, and so it keeps you in the focus, the zone better.
I'm just using the synthwave tracks I was already listening to on YouTube.
Headphones helps as
but
well.
there is clearly some scientific evidence there because it's not just a random track. They're doing studies on it and what is the most effective for people. And this synthwave type track is clearly it. And the music works more than that. It creates this bubble around you.
I put synthwave. The music there is also synthwave, so I was like keeping it all like themed. Very clever of me. I'm not clever, but like, you know, I guess it's the most obvious thing to do. But like the background music is synthwave.
And it keeps you in this focus. You don't hear anything else. It removes distractions from you. I find it very, very useful. Whenever my focus is being pulled, it's
that's one of the things. If I've got a bigger project to do, I will just put that on, and it'll help me stay and do like 40-minute, 50-minute, even like hour plus of work on a task. As long as I don't need to, like, I couldn't edit a video while doing that, but if it's like a design task or something, I can get in the zone by putting on synthwave music.
The music then that will pull me back into the work. I may get drawn into the music,
really make
do
a
a
big
little drum
difference on
solo, and then get right back into working. I've also used just one song on repeat for many
Sounds
hours,
less,
and it
effective, though.
definitely was not 4.5 hours
think it's more
straight
for the-
of
the
pure
joke of it.
annoying cut. And the last one is sleep. You need to get a decent amount of sleep, and you need to do
everybody
sleep patterns that
has
work
that.
for you. A lot of people are all about these
bored of
morning routines.
Get bored of myself.
Forget about that if you're a night owl like me.
I need to watch it
because
at fast
go
pace.
with your natural
I never
sleep
watch any
cycle.
YouTube.
You can Google
At 2x. I mean at 1x. Everything is 2x minimum. Sometimes even 3x, depending on how fast people talk.
a sleep chronotype. So some people, about 15 to 20% of
I guess we'll just skip along. Basically, sleep. You know yourself. Get enough sleep. 8 hours sleep minimum. I've done, you know, even more than
crazy
that.
morning person. You are a mystery to me, but you do you, and
Yeah,
I
morning
will
people,
just
I'm not a morning
continue
person.
to pound down ridiculous amounts of caffeine to
Teabags.
turn my brain on, and then I will
I drink a lot
continue
of
to
tea.
consume
Trying to drink
even
less tea,
more
recently.
just to keep it
Just to
working.
improve my
8
sleep.
cups a day. Okay, just one last bonus tip here, and this may be the best one yet. Delete TikTok from your phone. Just completely remove it from your life.
I had to use my old phone to delete it because I didn't want to delete it on my actual phone because I was still too addicted to it. Now I have deleted it. I made a video on this channel about how I deleted TikTok, and unfortunately I didn't really find I had much time. It gave me much time at that moment. But now we're like 3 weeks later on, and it's maybe been even 5-6 weeks since I've deleted TikTok. I'm starting to find I do have more time in the day. It's taken a while for my brain to kind of reset from the constant TikTok-y short form content. But yeah, it has now worked. It just has taken a long time, over a month, for that to deregulate from constant short-term feed into my brain. So it it just takes a long time, but it's worth doing. Get TikTok off your phone.
It will consume your time faster than the Cookie Monster in a McVitie's factory. And I'd appreciate your subscription if you found this helpful.
Don't subscribe to that old channel. That channel's dead. I'm never really gonna be. Oh, maybe at some point. I doubt I'll ever revive it. I don't think so. But anyway, that was my tips on how to be productive from 6 years ago. If you found any of those useful, give them a try. And I wish you luck. Have a great day.